Hey guys, what's up? As you can see in this live stream, we are getting ready to work on this TireTread. Now, I know what you're probably saying. What are all of those lines? What do they represent, right? Okay. So, what all those lines represent is a TireTread. And the TireTread is probably the hardest part, I think, to like understand. So switch that around. Like how to like get it to look perfect. And so I'm gonna do my very best to show you guys how to do that. So it's all kind of like color coded and yeah, that's as far as I'll go. Each color represents something completely different. All right, the red represents you know, the sorry, let's do this. Okay, so the red represents the geometry that we're going to extrude upward. The yellow is how we're going to get in between like the TireTread, and then the purple is how we're going to keep like these really straight lines here. So without any further ado, let's do that. So please take a screenshot of this. Okay, the TireTread, let me go to Windows UI Elements, let me turn on my time slider and I'll do this. Okay. All right, so let me zoom out real quick. This is a TireTread. Screenshot that, and we're going to get started working on this shape. Okay, so let me just zoom in a little bit more. And let's go back to this image. It's a little bit off now. My zoom is kind of acting funky. Okay, so let's go to Mesh Tools, create Polygon tool, and I'm going to click here, hold Shift, and then press Enter. I'll press Y to repeat that previous command. Hold Shift. Actually, let's just do this. I'll press 4 to see what I'm doing. And then Enter. And then I'll press Y to repeat the previous command. And I'm actually creating this shape counterclockwise. Press Enter. I'll press Y to repeat the previous command. Now this image here is actually going to help me to create like the number of lines that I need. So I'm going to create let's see, I'll just create like the basic shape and then I'll add more edge loops later. So let's start from here. I'll hold Shift to create a straight line. So it's 4, 5, hold Shift, and I'll put one right here, one right here, and then one there. Let's go up here. And I'll hold shift to create that straight line. Let's do one. So I'm trying to keep it adjacent from the previous vertex. Add one down here, I'll hold shift, and then add one right there, one right here, and then one more right there. Okay, we'll press return. I'll press 5, you can see that. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do, and I'll just isolate this guy. Let's go to the multi-cut, the mesh tools, multi-cut tool. Let's go to option box. I'll click on reset and close it. Okay, so I'll click on that vertex. Click here, press enter. Click on that vertex, enter that vertex, and then bring it across. That vertex. So we're just connecting it, connecting the dots. And the whole purpose is so that we don't have what we call like an n-gon. And then I'll do this one. Let's do it right there. Right there. And this guy, press enter from here to here, press enter, and that looks good. So far so good. I'll press Control 1 again, and I'll click on this object in object mode, so this guy. I'll press Control 1. And if I press Y on the keyboard to repeat previous command, there you go. All right, let me double check something. Make sure, okay, microphone is on. Okay, now with this shape, we want to use what we call the insert offset tool. That's found under mesh tools, offset edge loop. So I'll click on this vertical or this angled line, drag it to the right, and then that's good. Okay, let's go back to that tool in the option box. Let's turn off insert with edge flow. Okay, I thought I turned it off, and then enter tool and close. Okay. There you go. Now Control 1. And here comes the fun part. I'm going to turn this reference image back on. Okay. I'll zoom out. And we need to add edge loops going straight up through this guy, okay? And I'll actually explain it without looking at this because it's going to be a little confusing, all those lines. And let me just save this real quick. And let me go into the grease pencil tool and get rid of that, which is like the ghost. Okay. All right, we need to add edge loops going through this thing. So if I press 3, you can see how it's kind of fine until we like extrude this object. So let me select all 4 shapes, modify center pivot, and if I, let's say, extrude it and then moved it up, the moment I press 3, it looks like that, right? So obviously it's not what we want. And we have to have some fun with this shape. So this is going to connect here, that's going to connect through here. So I will hold shift, right mouse click and hold, insert edge loop tool option box, relative distance from edge, equal distance from edge is what I want. So I'll kind of put a line right there, go straight up, put a line right there. Okay, and then this guy needs an edge loop right down here, so that's what I'll do. So the next one has to correspond with that. And this guy needs an edge loop here, because these two are going to connect. So I'll put one right there. Now as these lines cut all the way across through this shape, I can see that I'm going to need an edge loop right here to correspond with that, this one here, and then this one right there. Okay. And then this one is going to need to go across, so I'll click here, click one more right there, and then one more right there. Now I don't really like those angles, so I'll press Z to undo. Let's go back into the mesh tool, insert edge loop tool option box, and let's click on relative distance from edge. So let's go here, and you can see how it's changing the angle as I move closer. That's what I want. Alright, so those are going to go all the way across. This goes there. Now I need to create another edge loop through here. So I'll do this. And I need to add one straight through here. I need to add one right there. And of course we'll deal with this shape later. So this is going to go straight up here. Let's put one right here. Let's put another one right there. That will go straight up. That will connect there. And these guys all connect across. That will connect here. Let's put one here. Let's put one right there, so those connect. And we're going to need to add one more right here, one right there, one right here, and then we'll need to add one right there, and then one right here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to select this vertex and like move it up a little bit so that the spacing, because what's going to happen is when we extrude to create the edge of our tire, like the outer wall of the tire, it's actually going to it's going to affect the, well, this is going to influence the outer shape. It's kind of difficult for me to explain, but I'll do my best when I get to that point. Okay, so I have this shape, I have this shape, and I need to add another edge loop through here. So let's put one right here, one right there, and then I need one more right here. Okay, that will connect there, and then we need to add one here, one right there, and then this will connect here. We need to bring this one across, that one straight across, this one right here straight across, almost there, one, two more, and then that will go right there. Okay. And you know what, I'm going to delete this one, control delete, and we'll eventually add another that goes straight across through here. Alright, so that's pretty much it, right? Hold shift, select all of these guys. We'll go to mesh combine, and now it's time to connect these guys. So let's go to edge. I'll select these two, 4, 5, 6, all the ones that are like, I guess, parallel to each other. And then we'll go to edit mesh, bridge option box, and then I'll reset those settings and click bridge. Cool. 1, 2, let's double click. And then if I press G, it's going to repeat the previous command. Not unless it doesn't like it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, G, and then I'm going to do something else because I really want those corners to align. So I'm going to delete this edge, control delete, and I'm going to add 1, 2 through here, because this has to go across. Okay, so mesh tools, insert Edgeloop tool. So I'll put 1 here, and I'll put 1 right there, and this guy needs to go through the center. Perfect. So here, hold shift, double click that one, hold shift, click that one, double click, mesh tool, bridge. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then press G to repeat the previous command. And then I'll select these 2, 3, 4, and then press G. 1, 2. So let's highlight this to make our lives faster. Here, press G, that one, and so these 2, G, that one, G, those two, and then those guys, G. And you can obviously see that I need to add another edge loop right through here. So let's go to edit mesh, or mesh tools, insert edge loop. So it goes right there. Go to edge, select these 4, and then I'll hold shift, right mouse click and hold, bridge. Okay. So now we have that shape. I'll press 4, and then I'll press 5. So I'm just going to color code these guys so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see if you're not the one creating. I'll press 4. And then let's go right there. It's a little edge loop. Ooh yeah, okay. Sorry for like the moments of silence, like I'm like thinking through this thing, and like you gotta be a little bit of a celebrity on YouTube, otherwise you lose your audience or whatever medium, so No funny jokes, guys. I really don't have any jokes. All right, let's do that. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so this is a shape that we will eventually be extruding, and I want to assign a new color to that. So I'll go to assign new material, and this is just a visual thing. I'll make it, let's make it a different color. Let's make it red. Okay. All right, so this is our shape, and what I'm going to do is I'll select that edge, this one, and then I'll select all of these outer edges here. This is the fun part. Not really, but we have to do it, okay? So I have all these edges here, Control E, and then I'll bring it down like this. Okay, now the color does change, and that might not be in our best interest. So I'll just highlight that edge that I extruded, which is really important for the next step. And I'll right mouse click and hold, assign existing material number 1. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll press Control D. I'll move this guy up like this and begin to connect these edges, right? So I'll put enough room so that it's, easier for me. And let's go to these vertices, and I'll just begin snapping them by holding V. And you can see as I hold V, that turns it off and on. I'm just going to keep it on so it's easier to do that. Press Z if you accidentally miss it. And you could see that we need 1, 2, 3 flowing up through here. So it's kind of like an indicator of what we're missing. Alright, this one here goes there. And they're not all going to align. Now this is the part that I say it's a bit challenging, because we have to think through the process, right? Okay, that one can go here, and then I'll turn that off, and I should add an edge loop right through here. Alright, so that's what I'll do. So whatever I do to this, I'm going to do it to this one as well. So if I hold, let's go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool option box. So this is where we get a little bit more precise. I'll turn the multiple edge loops on. I'll turn it to 1, and I'll put one right there, and I'll also put one right there, because we are going to repeat this pattern, right? It's a pattern. So now that we have determined what we need to do with that shape, we'll just take that vertex, hold V, and snap it there. Okay. Alright, so the only other issue that we need to address are the 1, 2, 3 edge loops that are going straight through this geometry, and that's super easy. mesh tools, insert edge loop tool, option box. So we'll add 3 perfectly aligned edges, and I'll press, actually we're going to need to put 3 of them through here as well. So we have them going through this one, and we need them to go through this one as well. So I'll press Y, I'll put those guys there, and sorry, my screen keeps like pulling out like that. Okay, so let's get these 3. Oops. I apologize. I think I added too many here. So we have these 3. And we'll go here. I'll hold V. Snap it there. Just like that one. Snap it there. Just like this one. Snap it there. Okay. So this guy is the ideal candidate. Alright, so if I delete that one, and I have this guy, alright, and I'm going to hold D, hold V to change my center pivot, move this guy like right here, see, right on that corner, and cross your fingers. Let's move this guy over here. Oh guys, you know what? I forgot one more thing. I have to take this edge, hold shift, double click, extrude it right here to the center. Select these faces, hold shift, and oops, sorry, don't hold shift. Right mouse click and hold, assign existing material, Lambert 1, and please, whatever you do, save it. Control S. Okay. Since this is a constant shape, I'm going to hold V, bring this guy up like this, and then color code these guys to be that Lambert 4. And then we should probably put edge loops through this thing. So I'll hold shift, right mouse click and hold, insert edge loop. Alright, and let's click, oh no, mesh tools, insert edge loop. Let's change this to equal distance from edge. We'll put an edge loop there. Let's put one here, one right there, another here, one more right there. Let's put one. No, let's put one right through here. Alright, so it's actually really starting to distort the geometry. So I'm going to go back and then just press undo on those edge loops. Okay. Control D, I'll hold V and snap it up like that. You see that? Okay. So let's kind of back up, right? If you go to edit, delete by type, history on this geometry, and I'll save it again, because I know Maya likes to crash. I'll press Control D, I'll hold V, and I'll snap it right there. Now, this is the fun part, alright? Let's move this guy, these two, let's move this out the way. I'll click on this guy, I'll hold Shift, and then press D. Oh, that's not it. Let's try this again. So hold D, hold V, snap your center pivot or your manipulator tool to a vertex. Hold, press Control D, and then hold V to bring this straight up. There we go. Now we hold Shift and press D. Booyah! Look at that, looks so cool. Shift D, keep going all the way up. Now I don't know how many like treads this is, but I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if this is like 360 degrees and then there's different angles, so it's maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40, maybe 40. I don't know how many I have right now, but I'll stop right there. And now that I have this shape, I'll select all of them, mesh, combine, and to save us a headache and a half, if we went to vertex and like highlight these vertices and went to, let's say, like edit mesh merge. Okay, thank God. Sometimes vertices are so close together that they do weird things, like they combine, and that's the last thing that we want. So I highlight all these vertices, we go to edit mesh, merge. Okay, all right, so as I'm looking at these vertices, they didn't combine, they are exactly where I want them to be. And we'll go to modify center pivot. I'll hold D and V and then snap this guy right there. Control D, go into our channel box editor, change our scale Z to -1. We will close that. Hold Shift, select this, mesh, combine, go to vertex, highlight all the vertices, right? So highlight all the vertices, edit mesh, merge. All right, I'm so excited about this. This looks really cool. Let's go to our perspective. It's almost like snakeskin. All right. All right, so let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. So now we have this shape, all right? We want to extrude, all right? Now, this is gonna be a tedious part, so I'll go ahead and just tell you what I'm gonna do, and then in the next part, you guys will just do it yourselves. So I'm going to select all of the red faces, all right? And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that he's going to do that. Why didn't he just do that earlier? And you're absolutely right. File, save scene as TireTread 02, save, and I'm going to open the TireTread 01. So when I press Control D and I hold V and I do that, like this was that part. Okay. So this is what we'll do. We'll select all of the red faces. And you know what? We need this edge to go out a little bit. So I'll extrude it, press W, move it to the right, and then I'll select these faces here, hold Shift. No, actually, right mouse click and hold, assign existing material Lambert 1. Okay, so let's select all of the red faces. And once we select all the red faces, so you can hold shift, click here, hold shift. And then, oops. It might be easier to do this in the front view, so that's exactly what I'll do. There's a paint selection tool that you could use if you're familiar with it, or the lasso tool. Okay, and I think it would be really helpful if you like you just went to like the press 4, make sure that you don't have anything else selected, right? Okay, and then select these guys, and from here we're going to press Control E. We'll move it up like that. I think that's about the right width of the tire tread. But let's do one other thing so we don't have to insert Edgeloop tool a few times. So let's do that right there. Control E one more time, and we'll bring it out like this. And then Control E one more time, and then extrude it up like that. So now when we press 3, oh, look at that. That looks awesome. Object mode. Now, I think I counted something like 25 or like 50 of these things. Let's go to Modify, Freeze Transformation. I'm sorry, Freeze Transformation. I'll save this scene as TireTread 03. Continue. Okay. And press Control D. I'll hold V and snap this guy like right there. Okay. Now I'll tell you one thing that we do have to consider is that these guys are going to be connected, right? And it'd be in our best interest to delete these faces. So I'll hold Shift, press period to delete those 4, or 3, 6, 9, and then I'll select that single one there. I'll hold Shift, press period, delete. Okay. All this fine detail. Control D, hold V, snap it there. So it's not all the way there. There we go. All right, something has caught my interest, and I think it's because these vertices are not aligned. I'll hold R, I'll press R, hold J, and snap them. Okay, so those are not aligned. It's really, really, really important. Make sure all of these are aligned too, and make sure these are all straight up and down. Okay, sorry for the little setback. Make sure that these, okay, that should be fine. Control D, hold V, and then now, okay, hold V, okay, hold Shift, press D, One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Highlight all of these guys. So I just duplicated 25 times. Mesh, combine, go to vertex, highlight all the vertices, edit mesh, merge. object mode. Let's go to modify center pivot. W, I'll hold D and V, snap this guy over to the center. Control D, channel box editor, change the scale Z to -1. Okay, select both of these guys, mesh combine. Okay, and then we go to the vertex, highlight all the vertices, edit mesh, let's go to merge, and now we can go to edit, delete by type, history. Let's go to our modeling drop down menu, change it to animation, deform, nonlinear, and let's go to bend. Okay, now it's also a great time to save. File, save scene as, and I'll just save it as 04. Okay, in our attribute editor, there's the bin handle. Okay, and if I change the curvature, drag it to the right, 180. Okay, so sometimes this bend handle, let me go to my channel box editor, is like rotated. So if I press E on the bend handle, you can see it's like a different angle. So you want to make sure that whatever you do, that you change the rotate Y to a positive value, so whether 90 or -90 or whatever the case is. So here's my bend handle, and I want to change the values. So it's at -180. I want to try a -183. 84, and they are like somewhat overlapping right there, so let's change it to like -83, and say 83.2, 83.3. And then, so we just keep dialing up until it gets as close as it can. And if I change it to 0.5, it's actually, I'll keep it at 0.4. Close that. And then I'll click on these two vertices, and then we'll go to modeling drop down menu, edit mesh, merge to center. Alright, so I didn't merge those to center, and it's probably because we still have the bend handle on this guy. So I'll go to edit, delete by type, history, vertex, like those two vertices, edit mesh, merge to center. I'll press F on this guy, and so this is like the tedious part. I've seen some examples of tire creation where as soon as they change it to 180, it was like right on the money, but in this case, do a little bit more work. So when I select two vertices at a time, it's important that you guys press 4 to make sure that you you don't have vertices selected somewhere else. So let's press G, and select these two, G. So it's a little time consuming. Maybe we could try to use the target weld, and no, it's not going to be a good idea. And hold shift, merge vertices, merge the center. So by all means, go ahead and fast forward this part. But if you do watch it, then at least you'll know which ones that you need to merge to center. Okay, so for some reason or another, these edges are here. Okay, and that's a bit of a bummer. We'll probably have to go back because these edge loops are not supposed to be on here, and they're like all the way throughout this entire thing. So yeah, that kind of sucks. If I hold shift, and I don't want to do this all the way throughout the entire project, so yeah, I'll just keep clicking on those here, and when we do get finished with that, and we go all the way around, we're going to double click on this outside edge, Control E, press R, and then scale it down like this. But we'll actually do the same for both sides and create the no, don't do that. We'll create the really nice round tire. So I'm going to stop this, go back to a earlier save where I didn't have these edge loops like that, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.